What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, first and foremost, I do want to thank each and every one of you guys for, of course, supporting this channel. It means the absolute world to me. For those who don't know, I am trying to grind for the 40,000 subscribers on this channel right now, and the support has just been absolutely absurd. You guys have been showing so much love, and honestly, like I said, it's just, I love doing this. I love making videos. I love making content. I love, making commentaries. I love playing games, and the fact that you guys enjoy the content just as much as I enjoy making it means the freaking world to me. So, of course, if you guys enjoyed today's commentary, don't forget to hit the sub button. And, of course, if you want to help me out a little bit on this channel as well, you can leave a like. And by all means, if you hate the video as well, leave a dislike. I don't mind. Just the support or feedback in general is always helpful in the long run. And also, if you do want to see a little bit extra content on the side, not just YouTube videos, I stream every day besides Sundays as well, playing stuff like Battlefield 2042, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. We also have open lobbies while we're playing, so you guys can join whenever you feel like it. And at the same time, I'm always extremely active in chat. So if you want to hold some discussions or just see what I'm like, outside of the YouTube channel or YouTube videos, then by all means, like I said, tune into the streams. The link to that is down in the description of this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now with that out of the way, let's get into today's topic because it is going to be an extremely juicy one, especially if you're like me and you're getting back into Battlefield 2042 and this game is just giving you the time of your life right now. Again, I understand that I talked a lot of crap about this game throughout its whole life cycle, and, rightfully so. Was I wrong to talk crap about it? It was in a very bad state. You couldn't even load into the game without it completely bugging you out. Glitching, hit detection was absolutely awful. More than half the weapons didn't work. All the maps were horrifying at launch, so on and so forth. I think, honestly, the hate that it got was needed to get it to where it is current date. Because if you hop on this experience right now and you give it a go, I guarantee it's going to be a night and day difference. I don't know about you guys, but every single person that I've talked to personally in my personal life, and also people that come into my stream all the time, I realistically have not had one person come to me and say that, they've played the game at launch and they uninstalled. They come back and play it now. Not one person has said that the game is hot garbage. Maybe they don't enjoy it still. Maybe they don't like Battlefield 2042. I respect that. Not every game is made for everybody out there. So if you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. But not one person has said that the game is, still garbage. It has gotten better. It has improved. If you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. But I have not heard one person say the game is hot garbage now. It is definitely worth giving a shot. But one thing that I've noticed in the community right now is that people are worried that, since this game is finally in a point where it's playable, they're going to cut the life cycle of Battlefield 2042. I mean, we've seen this time and time and time again with multiple different games, not even just in Battlefield, but different franchises as well, where the game slowly starts to become something good, it gets better, and then bam, in a blink of an eye, they decide to cut it, move on to the next project. It's a typical EA thing. Star Wars Battlefront 2 got cut when it was starting to get good. Battlefield 5 got cut when it started to get good. So what is going to change EA's, mindset on cutting Battlefield 2042 before it gets good? And we're at that state right now. The game is getting good. It's getting playable. It's actually a reason to hop into the experience and grind it out. The developers are communicating with us. It's a very positive relationship between the community and developers, so on and so forth. Everything panning across the board looks amazing. What, is going to hold EA back from just cutting it off and moving on to the next project? Well, ladies and gentlemen, over on the internet, the interwebs, whatever you want to use, Facebook, Twitter, I don't care what you use, man. I hate the internet. I hate social media. The only thing I use is Twitter, and that's just so I can, contact you guys in the DM sometimes when you guys want to message me or just, keep up to date on topics. But I despise social media in every way, shape, or form. But I've been seeing this picture fly around absolutely everywhere, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy this one. Apparently, year 2 for Battlefield 2042 is going to be planned to come out. Yes, you have heard this correctly. And it seems like it is pretty darn official. You can see right here, it's popping up on the Origins page. I'm surprised this person was even able to get on Origins because I remember a while ago, they forced me to go to the EA app. They forced me to go to the EA app and then uninstall Origins. They wouldn't even let me go to EA without uninstalling Origins. They were really strict with that. So I'm kind of, curious on how they actually have Origins up here. Maybe it's still live and in action. They forced some people out of it. But at the end of the day, this right here is absolutely beautiful. Now, of course, a lot of the community is actually pissed off about this information, and you probably already know why. People who don't enjoy Battlefield 2042, which, again, I can completely respect because, even though I enjoy Battlefield 2042 right now, is it the best Battlefield game in the franchise? No, and I think a lot of people are really looking for that. After Battlefield 5, people just wanted something that, had the atmosphere of Battlefield 1, the gameplay, and, all the cool stuff from Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, maybe like the movement and some of the cool squad features of Battlefield 5. Just combine all the best stuff into one Battlefield game. That's what everybody wanted out of the next Battlefield title. So having Battlefield 2042, even in its current spot, people do not want that. They want to see it go away, and they want DICE to go ahead and focus on pushing out the next title as soon as possible. But to be realistic with you guys, I think, like I said, this is just fantastic news. I understand a lot of you guys want something different and you don't enjoy Battlefield 2042, but you have to think of it this way. They are getting more time to work on the next project. Would you rather them cut Battlefield 2042's life cycle early so they can push out another project that's going to be half-assed? Or should we get year 2 for Battlefield 2042, giving DICE an extra full year to create content, create a storyline, create an actual good Battlefield game, put it together, have it tested? Wouldn't you rather want that? Wouldn't you rather want a more polished off Battlefield game than something that's going to be rushed out the door? That's realistically how I'm thinking of it right now. This, to me, I think is going to be fantastic news because DICE will finally have a moment to put something together. We aren't going to get another Battlefield 5 where they're going to cut production and try to force something out the door as soon as possible. It seems like, I don't want to jinx it here. I don't want to jinx it, but it seems like DICE will be able to put out at least a semi-decent full title. Now, this is rare because we have never seen a Battlefield game release where it's not a buggy, absolute crap show. Even Battlefield 4, for example, is one of the best Battlefield games or one of the most popular. I think Battlefield 3 might be a little bit better than 4. Battlefield 4 was very vehicle-based, and I think Battlefield 3 was a little bit more infantry-focused from time to time. But at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that Battlefield 4 is one of the most popular Battlefield titles of all time. But let's not forget how bad it was at launch and how hated it was at launch. Am I right or am I wrong? Battlefield games always release completely busted. But I have a gut feeling right now that this time around, it might be a pretty solid launch. Now, solid launch doesn't mean it's going to be completely bug-free. It's going to be the perfect, the most perfect game in the whole universe. But what I mean by solid launch is that it'll probably be one of the better launches we've seen in a very long time, especially for the fact that they have a bunch of goats behind the scenes now. It's not like they only have a bunch of new developers on the scenes. No, they have goats. I mean, goats. The creator of the Halo universe. They have one of the, the OG Call of Duty developers who were in the prime of Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare 2, all that good stuff. They also brought back a bunch of OG Battlefield devs as well to work on this project. I'll be honest, I don't think EA is messing around anymore. I think they're tired of Battlefield getting completely demolished when it comes to the FPS scene, year in, year out. But then, it slowly gets better over time. I think they want to be able to release a game that will blow up at launch and, just absolutely keep pushing from there. And that's what I'm seeing from, once again, seeing them push over to Battlefield 2042 Year 2 to give the developers extra time, and also seeing them pick up all of these developers to work on the game. Even though, like I said, this is fantastic news for a bunch of OG Battlefield fans because we are seeing proof of concept that the next game will probably have a lot of development time behind it. But at the same time, for people who do enjoy Battlefield 2042, this is fantastic news for us as well. Like I said, the game is just getting good. I'll be honest, Battlefield 5 was probably my most hated Battlefield game, but I would have gladly taken another year of Battlefield 5 if it meant that Battlefield 2042 would have gotten better, and also because it finally got to a point where it became interesting. They started to add more factions, more content. It started to feel like a World War II game. If they kept posting content, and if they kept updating it and making it into, an overall real World War II experience, I would have gladly kept playing the game. And the same thing goes for Battlefield 2042. It started off rough. It started off bad. It's at a spot that it's actually pretty darn good now. I will keep playing it if they update it, continuously add content to it, and as you see here, push for a full another year. And the best part about this overall situation, again, I know there's going to be a bunch of people saying, this is a bad thing. How could you possibly think that, we got ripped off, we got scammed, but no, I'm over that already. It's been so long. I can't hold grudges like that. I can't. It's just too depressing, man. But honestly, this is going to be the first year where we truthfully get a real full content schedule. Let's be honest, the full first year of Battlefield 2042 was catch up. They were fixing all the OG maps, they were updating the overall game, fixing bugs, fixing glitches, polishing off the overall experience, trying to add in the class system. The whole first year was literally them trying to play a game of catch up. Year 2 is going to be like basically if the game launched in a perfect state. All we're going to be getting is brand new content, cool new updates, and additions to the game. There's nothing of course there are bugs and glitches that still need to be continuously polished off, and as updates come out, there'll probably be things that break. It's just game design. It's how things go, especially when it comes to coding, so I completely understand. But at the end of the day, Year 2 is going to be filled with nothing but fun, fire content. That's all I could possibly ever ask. We can finally enjoy the game how it should be enjoyed, and it's not going to be like we're sitting here trying to, like I said, play catch up, be test dummies, so on and so forth. And the price tag right now, people have been getting this game on sale for like 15, 18 bucks. That is such a steal. And when year 2 comes out, I know they're going to do the same thing where you have to pay a certain price tag probably to get access to a bunch of the battle passes for free, blah, 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 just like how they did with the $100 edition of Battlefield 2042 when it first launched. It probably won't be $100, but you best believe I'm going to buy year 2. I don't care. I love the system in this game. I love the fact that all the battle passes are free for anybody who purchased the $100 edition of the game. That's phenomenal. I love the fact that they have weekly challenges that help you progress through the tiers extremely easy. I actually tested this out. If you do not grind the game whatsoever and you only go based off of your weekly tier skips, you can still complete the battle pass. I mean, it's so consumer friendly and allows people to grind it at such an easy rate. And on top of that, the store is extremely consumer friendly as well. You know, not only did they make sure the atmosphere stayed like Battlefield, you know, they were trying to branch off to the Call of Duty vibes, but the community said, no, we don't want, you know, all this crazy crap. We want grounded, realistic looking skins that can be flashy. They don't have to be, you know, completely realistic milsims. You know, they could be flashy, but just make them fit the frickin' game. That's all we asked for. And they did it. They frickin' did it. They did an outstanding job. I pretty much love a lot, almost all the cosmetics you could possibly think of in Battlefield 2042. They're pretty darn solid. I hope to keep this art style or even make it more grittier. You know, whatever you want to do, just keep the vibes going this way and not towards how Call of Duty is pushing their games nowadays. But as I was saying, the bundles, you aren't forced to buy the whole thing. You know, how there's like $20, $25 bundles and you have to get it. Even if it's just one thing in that bundle, you have to get it. Well, in Battlefield 2042, you can find specific things out of the bundle that you could purchase for cheaper. So if you like, you know, a character skin out of a bundle that's like $20, $25, you only have to pay $5, you know? You don't have to pay the full 20 bucks for the full bundle. You could just literally pay the portioned price of the exact thing you want out of that bundle. And so, once again, so consumer friendly. Like I said, with this model in place, I'm going for it. I'm going for year 2. I'm excited to see what they have in store. You know, they've gained back a good portion of my trust. That trust could be gone really fast, and I think that's how it is for a lot of people right now. You know, it takes one thing and everybody's going to be gone. But with how they've been communicating for this full year, it's been just absolutely insane. I've been loving it. I gotta say, the only thing I really hope that they work on besides, you know, just continuously adding in more content stuff is just maybe spend the year working on weather features. I think that would be phenomenal. Just like how they spent all year remodeling all the original maps in this game. Why not spend the whole year, you know, this time around, since they basically already got the game up to a working condition, why not just worry about adding in more weather features and making sure they're balanced out, making sure that, you know, doesn't kill frames, slowly yet surely testing things out and introducing stuff. Spend the whole year just trying that stuff, because all the concept arts of, like, you know, fire tornadoes or just, you know, volcanoes, I believe, and floods, and I'm assuming earthquakes as well. Like, there's so many fire concepts, so many cool things that could happen in Battlefield 2042, you know, a game-to-game basis that just don't happen because they're not introduced into the game. And, you know, so I think that if they spend the whole year not only adding in content, but having a team designated to trying to add more weather features into the game while making sure that the optimization is still solid would be great. And hopefully, honestly, I don't mind. Keep using Battlefield 2042 as a test dummy. Everything that you're trying to test out to make sure that it works properly for the next Battlefield game, like I said, whether it's weather features, making sure player counts work, you know, optimization, whatever it is, test it out in Battlefield 2042. You know? Test it there and perfect it for the next title. Don't just release a game, you know, that you don't know if it's going to work out good, and then we have to go through the whole thing again, like Battlefield 2042 from start to finish, you know, a whole year of having to work it up. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't torture yourself. You're already getting the extra year with the year 2 for Battlefield 2042. Use that to perfect the game, and then use 2042 as a test dummy to keep perfecting the game. Make sure the next Battlefield title is a banger, you know? Basically, the only people who are coming back to this title, including myself, are just using it as a placeholder because it's playable enough until the next Battlefield game comes out. It's fun, you know? I still get my Battlefield vibes, but I've come to the conclusion that it's not the best Battlefield game, and it never will be. No matter how much they do to it, it just won't meet those top-tier Battlefield standards. But it's at a point that I can play it until the next one comes out, and I respect the developers enough that, you know, I want to play it. It's not like, you know, Infinity Ward where their ego is just so disgusting. No, I want to support this game right now. So just don't mess up the next one. It's as simple as that. Don't mess it up and just take a lot of time, a lot of work. Communicate with your community. You all see how far it goes communicating with your community, right? Battlefield 2042 is at its current spot because of the community. This wasn't like a Call of Duty system where they ignore everything we say and they just go off of what their, ideas are and just hope it works. Fingers crossed it works. No, every single implementation into this game was from the community. Obviously, they did it. They developed it. They coded it, but they listened to us. And you see the success rate from a development team listening. So do the same thing for the next Battlefield game. If you wanted to pop off, listen, and I guarantee people will actually give you some really good advice, and the game will turn out to be fire. But, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like. Bonus, I hate it, leave a dislike. Also, if you're brand new, enjoy the content, or subscribe to that notification button. Also, want to chat with me? There's two ways to do so: Twitter and Discord, both linked down in the description. And also, want to catch me live streams of video games over on Twitch, link that's in the description as well. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you on the next one. Peace out.